Everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather, and I have several personalized wallets to show you today and a lot of other stuff that we're shipping out. And let's have a preview of some of the wallets that are in the video today. There's a raw double reverse Fat Herbie, an English Tan Dublin Fat Herbie, another customized English Tan Dublin Fat Herbie, and a raw Shell Cordovan Fat Herbie. We have a Frank the Enforcer in Color 8 marbled Shell Cordovan, a Tony the Ant in marbled ultraviolet color 4 and some 1940s calf, an Apple Watch band in natural Shell Cordovan. We have two key fobs, one in natural chrome excel and one in natural reverse Shell Cordovan, a vault key holder in amaretto Shell Cordovan, a Johnny the Fox in 100% English Tan Dublin, a Johnny the Fox in natural chrome excel, and the last black Gator Shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox. There's a custom card case, and last but not least, a one-shot card holder in blue vintage. All right, let's start off strong here with this really beautiful, in fact, it's a stunner. This is a stunning Tony the Ant in that marbled ultraviolet Shell Cordovan. Take a look at all the depth of color in this one. It sort of ranges from a deeper, darker purple down to a little bit more vibrant magenta. That is on top of some color 4 shell, and we do these, a couple of these wallets here have been personalized. So you can see on the bottom right here, this one has been personalized for E, and we're happy to personalize just about everything we do. These break out for good gifts, but I noticed a lot of people like to personalize their own wallets. But on the inside of this Tony, this is what sets it over the top. If the back wasn't special enough, the interior here is made from 80-year-old leather. This is leather that was tanned in 1941 at Horween Leather Company. It's a calf skin that they're not able to reproduce. They did this in 3 different colors. The one we see most often is the color called blonde. I'm not really sure what to call this one. We call it orange, but they're made in the same batch. And we also have like a more of a burgundy, sort of like a color 8 one. So this 80-year-old leather is really incredible. It's super thin. Has a really nice feel to it as well, and then there's some interesting grain character to it. Let's see if I can get you a nice little close-up here. But it just definitely has like a nice natural finish, which I really like. I think the biggest thing about it is just the story behind this leather, how it's 80 years old and it's been at the tannery. It was sort of abandoned. They were never able to reproduce that leather. So this is a special Tony the Ant going out with that orange 1940s calf. And here's another really remarkable piece on the Frank the Enforcer. And this is a color 8 marbled Shell Cordovan. It looks like an amaretto in the middle there. And that is really neat. This one has been hand stitched, which we will absolutely do. And it's a slight upcharge for the hand stitching, but we can do it for basically everything but the Johnny the Fox. In the back here, more of that color 8 marbled with some amaretto shell. This is a beautiful Frank the Enforcer, also personalized here in the bottom corner for E, and thank you so much, E. And then I have 4 of these Fat Herbies going out to the same person. They've all been personalized, and these Fat Herbies are some of my favorite ever. They basically have everything I can possibly do on each of these, but let's take a slow look at each of these one by one. So this Fat Herbie here is a raw Shell Cordovan on the outside, and I love the look of this raw shell. The best part about the raw shell is how it ages. It sort of starts off with this dull, more of a matte luster and a lighter tan color, and the way this develops is extraordinary. This is sitting on top of a nice little Horween ink stamp in the center here. Let's take a look at what that leather is. We've got more of that raw shell in the center. So this is sort of like a raw double reverse Fat Herbie, where we have shell and reverse shell on the outside, as well as shell and reverse shell on the inside. This one has been hand stitched, so we get a little bit of this thicker, chunkier thread look, which is totally personal taste. Both the machine stitched wallets that I do, as well as the hand stitched ones, are guaranteed forever. So I really only suggest doing the hand stitched if you love that aesthetic, because it is an upcharge, and I'll repair or replace any stitching that breaks, whether or not it's machine or hand stitched. So on the inside here, that more of the reverse Shell Cordovan. This is natural reverse on the left with a great Horween ink stamp. Natural on the right, also a reverse. And these have the hidden card slots. That's these little pockets underneath here. So you have your normal 2 slots for your cards on each side, like a normal Fat Herbie, but this customer chose again, for another upcharge to add these little dividers for the card slots. So this is a great customized Fat Herbie. And let's take a look at the other ones here. This is an English Tan Dublin. But look at the grain character on this one. This is about as dramatic of a texture that I've ever seen on the Dublin. All these little peaks and valleys I think are very interesting. I think when I get more dramatic looks like this, I think that's what makes the Dublin more special to me. I think it just makes it a little bit more unique. This one has also been hand stitched with that nice thick thread. On the interior here, more dramatic wrinkling on that English Tan Dublin. I just think that's a really nice look with the hidden card slots as well. This is another beautiful Fat Herbie here. I kind of want this one for myself. We have another English Tan to look at. And you can see sort of right away the difference in the character of this leather. It's a little flatter, although it does have a lot of nice natural grain character to it. And I like these little close-ups. Now they have this 4K camera going on. You can see a lot more of the grain character that I rave about in the Dublin. All those little hair holes, I think, are what are very special about the Dublin. It's very naturally finished. When you cover this up with paint, like a lot of tanneries do, or a lot of leathers that you see in the world are very heavily finished, you fill in all the little bits of character. So it starts to look a lot more like paint than leather at a certain point. Again, that's why I like the aniline finished Dublin. On the inside of this one, English Tan Dublin on top of what appears to be black Dublin dividers. And I think that looks really good, and I think it works well with the black and the English Tan together. And let's take a look at the last one here. This is more raw Shell Cordovan, but this is all raw on the outside. Again, it's been hand stitched, personalized, got some card slot dividers. Basically every option that I possibly do is on this Fat Herbie. So this one is all raw Shell Cordovan. Outside, inside, the dividers are raw shell. These are 4 very special Fat Herbies going out. I can't wait for you to have these, and more than that, I can't wait to see how these age. And speaking of things that age well, this is a natural Shell Cordovan Apple Watch band. And I really like the Shell Cordovan watch straps and Apple Watch bands that we do, because we do unlined straps. So we're picking a little bit of a more naturally thick piece of shell for these unlined straps. Not every piece of shell is appropriate for the straps. If they're a little thin, they kind of just feel wrong. And we figured out that this 5-ounce thickness, which is a little over 2 millimeters, is just about perfect for a watch strap. And what I like about the unlined straps and the Shell Cordovan is that they're super comfortable. So you get this reverse side of the Shell Cordovan, and when you wear this and it touches your wrist, it just gets more and more smooth, more and more polished. And then the veg tan character in this leather causes it to mold around your wrist. So I think the natural Shell Cordovan strap here is going to age incredibly, and all of the unlined straps, whether it's for me or somebody else, in a veg tan leather is just about as comfortable as a strap you'll find. And we have some more natural pieces here. This is a key fob in natural chrome excel, and that natural chrome excel is a really nice neutral color. It's a little bit of an ivory shade. This is the most popular chrome excel in the color in the world right now. We also have a natural reverse Shell Cordovan key fob. And what's fun about the natural, since I have this close-up camera here, take a look at the grain character in the reverse side of the shell, because the shell side, let me grab a shell wallet here, or here, it's a key case. So the shell side, there is no grain at all. So you'll only see this really smooth shell, but the reverse side is actually the side where the hair of the animal is. So we still get all that really nice character of the grain on the reverse side of the Shell Cordovan. And take a look at the ink stamp on the back here. I think that one just turned out really well. And I teased this key case a second ago. This is a vault key holder in my favorite shell color, the Amaretto Shell Cordovan. I just took some new photos of all colors of Shell Cordovan on the vault key holder. I think if you're looking to see the differences in some of the Shell Cordovan colors, the vault key holder, the key fob, and the Lexington key case, all of those pages have all of the Shell Cordovan colors that I offer up and available on that page. So it's a good way to compare and contrast some of the different Shell Cordovan colors. And I have 3 Johnny the Foxes to show you. This one first has quickly gone up the ranks for favorite wallets of mine. So I've been wearing one of these English Tan Dublin Johnny the Foxes, and it's a 100% English Tan Dublin. I've been wearing this for 95 days now, And let me pull mine out here. And as I've worn this Fat Herbie, I'm just really enjoying the patina development on this one. It's become much darker, a little bit more red to it, and a little bit more brown. But what I think is the most interesting thing is how the luster is changing on this one. It's getting deeper in luster. So there's a luster that's developing on the surface here, that shine, but there's also seeming to be a luster coming from inside the leather. It's like almost from underneath. So there's like a depth of luster that I see on the Dublin, and I also see it happen on the Shell Cordovan, and I really enjoy that. But let me give you the before look again, because this is a beautiful Johnny the Fox going out. English Tan Dublin is one of my favorites. On the inside here, more of that English Tan Dublin, really nice vibrant orangey tan shade. And here's that natural Chrome XL again, the most popular Chrome XL color. And somebody commented that they liked that I said you can see how it feels. The Chrome XL is incredibly rich, and the way it's tanned, the result is that it's almost half oils, waxes, and greases. I think it's 47% oils, waxes, and greases. And they achieve that in a process called hot stuffing. And hot stuffing is a steam heated drum where they put a bunch of waxes, oils, and greases inside of it. And it's a special blend for Chrome XL. And they sort of pound in those raw waxes, oils, and greases. And it's just fully impregnated into this leather, which is why it has that really rich, buttery feel. It's very, very cool. The Chrome XL is one of those things that you have to experience in person just for that feel. And on the inside of this one, we have a custom black horsehide interior. These are currently on sale. I like the natural Chrome XL on the outside with the black interior, but we also have a nice mock interior, which is a little bit more of like a yellowy tan shade. Both of them go very well. I think I like a more dramatic contrast on mine. And let's take a look at the last Fat Herbie here. This is that black Gator Shell Cordovan. And we did 5 of these earlier in the week, and they're all sold out now. I wanted to give you one last look because I love the way that the light bounces off of the black shell, and in particular on this texture. There's just something a little bit magical about the way the light hits this one. I really like that. And the other thing I love about this one of these private stock deals that we did, is the reverse interiors. And we did some extra special pairing of crazier interiors for this batch with extra dye marks, more randomization in the colors. So I can't wait for you to have this Johnny the Fox. And all of you that have picked up the 5 of these, can't wait for you guys to put these to good use. Now here's a card case that's a modification on our coin pouch. And this customer, it must be a saint, because we made one of these for them back in June and shipped it across the ocean, and they still haven't received it. It's actually gone back and forth across the ocean a few times according to the USPS tracking. So it's a little unfortunate that they have not received the other case that's similar to this. So we made another one, but I think that first one's still going to arrive. It's just taking a lot longer. So for that reason, we've started to ship all of our international shipments with UPS and DHL, which actually appear to be arriving very quickly and without any incidents. So this one is going out today. This one's been hand stitched on the edges. We did it a little tighter to the edge because this customer had a specific requirement for what they wanted to fit inside. They wanted to fit 7 cards and 10 bills inside of there, and the pattern of the coin pouch just wasn't working out perfectly, so we had to put the stitching just very close to the edge. I can't wait for him to have this one finally. It's been 4 or 5 months. And last but not least here, this is a one-shot card case in the blue vintage, which is a really silky feeling leather. It's similar to the Dublin, and let me give you the close-up of this because this is the distinguishing feature of the vintage. It's very polished and smooth. So unlike on the Dublin, you don't see as much of that grain character because we filled in all of the grain here with a lot of wax and polished it down. So it's super smooth in appearance, but also super smooth in feel. I like the vintage for that reason, but also it has a bit of a burst effect. So when you flex and crease it, like you can see on the spine here, the color becomes a little bit lighter and more aqua blue. So this blue vintage one-shot card case, really cool for the feel and that look, the grain character. We have some more one-shot card cases coming later today. So this would be a rare day where I make a couple videos, and we've got a lot of one-shots that we're making right now. You might hear some equipment in the background here, stitching and cutting and stamping up all those different cases. And there are a bunch of different leathers that I've never done before. This is all stuff that's coming from my private stock and Dan's private stock. Leather that we find at the tannery that may have only been made once that we just really liked. But I want to come back to this one here. This is the raw Shell Cordovan, and I wanted to show you how this ages, because the wall on the right here is the same leather as the wall on the left. This is the raw shell Fat Herbie that I wore for a year, and I just love this golden brown shade that's developed too. And take a look at the luster here. It's almost like it's got a bit of glass on the surface, really bright and shiny compared to how this one starts off. So the raw Shell Cordovan, I think, is the ultimate for patina. You can see when it starts, it doesn't have much of a bright luster at all. So if you're into the development and transformation of your leather, I think the raw shell is one of the best around, if not the best. I think certainly it's the best from Horween. So thanks for checking out the video. Look forward to seeing these one-shots later today. There's some stuff in there that I'm really excited about. So can't wait for you guys to see them. And until next time, I hope you have a good one and take care.